Welcome to Advanced Trainings. My name is Petra. For you that know me already, welcome back. For those who are new, welcome to our Thursday nights, where we learn about frequency, energy, and how to use Healy on different levels and in different ways. So you can actually start connecting to yourself more and build awareness for yourself. Why is that important? This is a really important topic today, and it's a really wide topic. We're going to talk about mind-body connection and personal empowerment. And this topic is close to my heart. And I have been working on it, well, since I was 20 and when I almost died. And it kind of pushed me into exploring my own inner terrain. And it's really funny. This week I've told my story to one of my potential clients. And to me, it's just a story today, right? I'm a completely different person and I have no emotional attachment to it. And when she heard, that I almost died when I was 20, she went, oh my God, right? When we are in an attachment of emotions, and this is something I want to share with you because it's appropriate for tonight's topic before we dive in. When we are in attachment of emotions, be it normally it's our own, we tend to react to other people's stories instead of responding. So when we don't have attachment to any of the emotional charges of our own story or of anyone else's story, we can be more empathetic. So we don't have to be sympathetic by being attached to the emotion. We can be empathetic by actually feeling their challenge because we understand it, because we've been through similar things. And I want to put this out because a lot of people think feeling the way other people feel, it's empathy, but it's not. Yeah, you're actually influencing yourself and your physical body and your physical health. And that's what we're going to look at today with mind body connection. Is not only you're reliving your own traumatic experience that actually put an imprint into your energetic field on your physical body or on any level of your body. And that's how we kind of process things because we are mirrors. Yeah. But it's really important to be aware. And why I'm saying that? Because mind body connection is all about awareness. Until we are aware what's going on in the body, until we are aware how that is influencing our emotions and our thoughts, we can't actually understand who we are. And we can't transform things in the root. Yeah. So we can actually become a different person. So mind body connection is why I've actually started with Healy for the first place. Because I started for my clients. Healy came into my life because of my clients. And because of the mind body connection, because I was seeing energy in their field that they were not aware of and they couldn't connect the dots. And Healy was the bridge between what I was seeing and what they were actually experiencing in this time right now, in this reality. And Healy is a beautiful tool to actually bring you back to your body. And yes, it's not a magic pill and it's not a magic wand, but it is an awareness tool and it has a huge impact on your awareness. So much that sometimes it can be scary of how deep it can actually really go. So without further ado, let's share our slides so we can actually chat about it. Okay, so where do I have this? Here. Okie dokie. Where are you? Here. Is everybody seeing my slides? Just give me a thumbs up if you do. Perfect. Okay. Because Zoom was playing a bit today, so we need to double check with everyone if everybody's seeing everything. I love when Zoom does that. And if you are into any of the astrology, we are in the eclipse season where what I like to say, our energies are eclipsed. We get a bit tired, things slow down, but we're also moving into Mercury retrograde. If you don't know what that means, it's just connection to technology thought patterns. Yeah, so what I like to use this energy patterns, which I call them, you can call them astrology, you can call them I Ching, you can call them whatever you want to. Yeah, they're patterns of observation and awareness. So nothing is magical in life, in a way that, things will just happen for you. But if you do have an awareness around them, you can transform things faster. You can dive deeper into yourself. You can find nuggets about yourself, new revelations and insights that actually help you figure out what you are, who you are, what you want, and how you want to transform things that are not serving you anymore. And this period of time that we are currently in, be it if you believe it or not, it doesn't really matter. You're influenced by the energies either way because we are frequency, is a perfect time for reflection. And it's a perfect time to learn about yourself and how you feel about yourself and what your body is actually telling you. So, mind body connection and personal empowerment. Mind body connection is such a huge topic. Yeah. So, I've tried to put things together to give you a perspective of how to start learning about your body and how to start connecting the dots. This time around, I actually haven't given you any list of programs, but I will show you how I use Healy as a bridge and the steps that I take and what tools in Healy I use. And then we can, give examples based on a specific emotion or thought patterns that, might be challenging for you. And what programs and how would I tackle that? So I want to teach you not to just blindly repeat the programs in your head and learn them by heart. I want you to actually start understanding your body. Yeah, so really simple, understanding your body so you can be empowered by trusting your own intuition and following certain knowledge that you receive and gain and integrate. And by integration, I mean trying certain programs that your body is drawn to. So not always thinking with your head, although it's mind, yeah, but trusting the body. So the mind is the knowledge. We learn the knowledge, yeah, we're exposed to the knowledge, but the wisdom comes when we actually integrate it in the body. So we need to do the work in the body. We need to trust the body. So without over analyzing in your head which program to use, I will push you a bit out of your comfort zone so you can actually start exploring and experimenting. So there is no right or wrong answer. With Healy, there's harmonic frequencies and your body will benefit from it no matter what, because you get them specifically for you no matter what program you run. So it's time for you to get out of the box, like the birds get out of the nest, start flying. So it's time to fly away and do things on your own. As every week, Healy is not a medical application. It's not meant for medical applications. Yeah, but it is a beautiful tool. It's an enormously beautiful tool. So we need to get this over with. It is not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or medical conditions. Yeah. Either Healy, Mag Healy, any frequency devices from Healy World, they're not meant to cure, mitigate, treat, or diagnose. Yeah. So again, and I've been repeating myself every single week today, especially because it's mind body connection. I would really love you to, when you ask questions that have medical conditions in it, I want you to start thinking about why is that coming up for me in the body? So what is my body missing, or what is my body having too much in order to actually present me with these symptoms? So we are trying to get away from the labels, because the labels are looking only this narrow, because the body always has an intention why, and a reason why it's doing certain things. So before we move in, I would love to hear from you. Are you aware of the sensations in your body when you are going around during your day, when you're doing your business, when you go into work, when you're working with your kids, when you're cooking, when you know, waking up in the morning before you go to bed, do you feel sensations in your body? Do you actually realize that you have any sensations, that your body is literally moving and contracting, or do you actually feel anything in the body? And can you connect them to a specific emotions if you are aware of them? So pop that in the chat. Oh, yes, yes, 100%. Oh, wow, love that. Oh, yes. So if you feel sensations, my question next is, do you know exactly what emotion it is? And do you know what thought patterns are connected to that? So do you know the whole pathway that leads to that sensation in the body? Mostly no. Okay. Not exactly. Nope. I love that one. Yes. Yes. Know the pathway to. Perfect. Love it. No. Yes. Okay. Sometimes. Okay. I love honesty. Yes, I have learned how to ask the feeling information and get answers. Perfect. Our body is beautiful. Yeah. Our body gives us answers all the time. So this is by all means not the only way. Yeah. And I've shrank this into so, like, it's a huge topic to explore, but I've shrank it into a really small amount so you can start exploring. Yeah. I was going through the time, but I actually thought I would have more time to actually give you a meditation, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen tonight. But I will give you directions on how you can start connecting to your body and checking in with the sensation, and then looking at the emotions and the thought patterns behind it. Okay, so let's go. So what is mind-body connection? So mind-body connection in the definitions is a process in our body where our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes can positively or negatively affect our biological functioning. So our physical matter, our physical body. So in other words, our minds can affect how healthy our bodies are. Great. I love my Canva. It always just put words all together, although I've fixed it 3 times. Don't mind me. Okay, so what it's actually saying is that our thoughts, that our energy can trigger certain emotions in the body, which we've learned in previous trainings, are electromagnetic activators. Yeah, and it can actually cause certain chemical reactions in our physical body. And that chemical reaction can influence systems in our physical body, our hormones, our organs, our digestive system, any part of the body. Even pain, for example, in your back can be influenced by your mind. I know this is quite mind-blowing, but this is what Healy does. It's the frequency, right? And the mind-body connection has been, proven through research. There's so many levels of it that we can dive deep into. But in essence, we now understand that the physical body is not just influenced by the physical elements we put into it or we are exposed to, but it's also influenced by our thoughts and beliefs and patterns, as well as our emotional patterns, which can be either suppressed, what we call trauma, or things that we are experiencing currently on a physical level that might sometimes be new, but majority they're connected to our trauma imprint in our body. So we also now know that the mind-body connection happens through the pathway in the body, which is connected to the cerebral cortex as well as our nervous system. Yeah, so we talked about in previous sessions that nervous system, firstly, is the pathway for emotions. It's the vehicle for emotions. And secondly, it's also the vehicle that charges our energetic field. So it's both. So emotions are energy in motion. So they are actually activators and the messengers going through the pathways of our nervous system and our cerebral cortex, which is all the nerves. What does that mean? That emotions and thoughts, which are all energy and literally electricity, can change the expression of the hormones, of the neurotransmitters in the body, And those are all influencing how our body creates cells, how it regenerates, how it heals. Does it have inflammation? Do we have any imbalances in the body? So all of that is influenced by our thoughts and emotion, and vice versa. So if we are not taking care of the body, and the physical energy is, the physical body is not strong, it will also influence your emotions, your moods, and your thoughts. And that goes in circles. Yeah. So it goes together when we're working with the body. What is really interesting, that the research now also shows that the network that connects directly to our body system, it's also governed by our stress response, so directly to our adrenals, meaning that mental stress and depression, for example, this is from the research, can influence our organ function. Because we know that when we're under stress, our body kind of contracts, right? And the blood goes into the limbs and the heart, so you can run away if you need to, yeah? So the digestion slows down. So we know that that's influenced by our stress response as well as our thoughts and patterns. Because if we see something in our world, because we don't have tigers anymore that chase us, we see something as perceived stress, that is influencing our physical health. So our perception of the world around us is actually physically influencing our health. So if we are working on our physical health, like we had a few months ago, going deep into the body, we also need to address our emotional patterns as well as mental patterns, because they're influencing our physical health. Another study, actually, or research, found that the mind-body connection, so how thoughts and emotions influence our physical body, especially our beliefs about the world around us, it actually changes our DNA. So it changes the polymers at the end of the each letter. Yeah. So the what do you call them? The connectors between the two spirals, and those polymers become longer if we actually are staying in more positive thoughts throughout the day. But if we're staying in negative thoughts or being under stress, those polymers actually shorten. And they found that actually DNA can be damaged by either trauma or negative thoughts and belief systems that literally present in our world and how we look at the world. So this is quite a powerful connection. Yeah. And if we are, so why is it that we need to do mind-body connection? Because of the personal empowerment. So personal empowerment, what it is, it's about understanding and realizing one's full potential. Yeah, taking control of one's life and making conscious decisions to bring about positive changes. In essence, personal empowerment represents the journey of becoming more aware of oneself, one's values, one's skills and beliefs, and using this newfound self-knowledge to shape one's destiny and your reality. So this is the personal empowerment literally works on a quantum field. So the more we have, the more awareness we have, the more mind-body connection we have, or awareness around it we do have, the more we can shape and change our core essence, which is also on a physical level, our DNA. So why would we want to do that, right? I know this looks like a lot of work, but when we start doing it, it can be challenging because we've never done it before, never learned it, right? So our brains don't want to change quite often, yeah? So it might be a bit challenging at the beginning, but when we actually start doing this, why do we want to do it? Why is that so important? Well, first of all, we get the benefit of having awareness, so we are preventing situations to happen instead of actually going through a situation and having a traumatic response and then healing that response. So we are shortening the period of healing, we're shortening the period of not even avoiding, but preventing the dramatic experience, and we are actually resolving things much faster. Okay, sorry, my computer just started popping things up. Mind body connection. So increased mind body connection also, it's actually supporting the stress reduction. So the more we are aware, the less stress we have on our body. Yeah, so the less stress we feel in the body. Not only what we think in the mind, but also our body, our physical organs feel less stress, meaning we are participating in healing. We also get better sleep quality if we have the better connection because we are aware of what our body's needs are. And we, of course, get the health self-awareness. So why Healy in here, right? Healy helps us on all those levels. It helps us with frequency to reduce the stress. And if we're actually aware of what's causing the stress, we can help ourselves to make the shift faster by supporting ourselves with specific programs. If we add on meditation or certain tools that I'll share later, we can actually expand that even faster. So what we're doing, we're empowering ourselves with tools to bring our full potential to the surface faster and more clearer. And that means we are more happy, more positive throughout the day in life, and actually living a life that fulfills us, not just to survive. Yeah, so this is really important because if we're not aligned, things are not going to be happening really smoothly for us because we'll be challenged in order to transform things, because either way, we are living on this planet as mirrors to each other. So we are going to have challenges. And if we are equipped with tools to support us, it becomes really simple. Yeah, it becomes really not really easy, like you're not doing anything, but you are aware of what you're doing and you can shift it faster. Okie dokie. So these are the basic emotions. So they've done research and studies on humans, and they've asked them to actually color in so they've literally induced certain emotions in them, some basic and some complex, and they've asked them to color in where in the body they have felt the sensations. So what I mean by the sensations, so we have the emotions, we've done that, right? So that's the electrical charge, the frequency within the body that's a messenger. So that when the emotion goes through the nervous system, it creates and activates certain chemicals, hormones, neurotransmitters, and everything else, and that creates certain feelings and sensations in the physical body. Yeah, so those are all connected together. So this was done in a big study, and this is something, if you are completely disconnected from your body and you don't feel sensations in your body, you don't know how to connect it with anything, you just feel something's going on, but you don't know how to pinpoint it. This is a great start where you can start, right? So the basic emotions of anger, fear, disgust, happiness, sadness, surprise have been colored in. You can see the sadness and surprise. You see how it's blue and the rest is like yellow and red? The black one is neutral. So we can see that the energy is, somewhere is at the top of the body, sometimes is in the bottom, the bottom part of the body, but the color also says that there's not neutral, that there's literally no sensations. It's like freezing, like you don't feel anything. It's like numbness. Yeah. So those are things to look out for. So when we are feeling certain sensations in the body, we can then pinpoint them to the emotion, and that emotion will trigger certain thoughts, and those thoughts can then be actually start to be transformed, and then the emotion can be shifted as well within the body, and the sensation can subside. So these are basics. You can go from here. For example, you can feel anger at the top of the body, happiness is throughout the body, and these are more complex emotions of love, anxiety. Depression is completely cold, right? Just completely disconnected from the body. Sadness is heavy at the top and quite intense at the chest area, right? Because it's connected to the lungs, sometimes the heart, and the legs are completely without blood and energy. Yeah, so it's cold. So these are all starting points for you to work with if something comes up, so you can go, okay, I'm feeling up here, do I feel this, do I feel this? So you can actually start checking in with your body. So I'm so sorry, I think I need to stop sharing because my Canva has literally frozen. Let me just, interesting. Bear with me, because I don't know why. Okay, let me start sharing this again. Hopefully this will work. I love when I have this technology stuff. Okie dokie. Okay, give me 3 seconds and I'll be back. The computer, Mercury retrograde. It actually gives me challenging times. Okay, here we go. Let me just come back. Start share screen. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so let's look at some emotions and what are the sensations, the feelings in the body. So you can actually start connecting the dots. These are basic. So if you guys want to actually explore it even deeper, that's not a problem. Just let me know in the Facebook group, under the comments, in the comments of the post for this session. And I have a document. This one's printed out, but I don't know if you can see it. But there's a list of things that you can go deeper. There's a list of all the organs and glands, and there's emotions connected to them, so you can actually go deeper into your body and start exploring. Yeah. Otherwise, the Inner Sigal, Language of the Body, is a beautiful book to actually start exploring that part of yourself as well, and then checking in with your body. So, how do we start this? So this is knowledge. Yeah. So this is some information that you can actually work with. But the most important thing to do before you go and say this is what it is to use the connection with your body. But first we need to build the connection with our body. So people come to me and say, I don't feel anything. Yeah. I check with my body and I don't feel anything. And I'm saying, always returning an answer is, you don't feel anything because you are disconnected from your body, because you have never learned how to connect and build a relationship with your body. And sometimes people say, yeah, I get this answer, but I don't know if it is my intuition or if it's just my head. Yes, I agree. You can't know because you have never explored that part of yourself. So my recommendation, yeah, and my invitation to you is, read all of the knowledge, but then use tools like meditation. Yeah, meditation is a beautiful, beautiful tool, and it's underrated with a lot of people. Yeah, so when we do meditations, we can actually do it intentionally. So before you go and ask your body all these questions that you want to know, yeah, make sure that you build a relationship with your body. Make sure that you thank your body. Make sure that you are actually telling your body how much you appreciate it and love it, because it's doing a lot of work for you. Yeah, and it has been doing a lot of work for you. So if we are coming with gratitude and we are coming with intention of love and connection, your body will be more willing to open up, which is your field. Yeah, and you soften the connection with yourself. And when we do that, yeah, the most important thing is to keep that connection going, to build a relationship, not just do it once in a while. And the second step I always tell people to do is to actually start doing the body scan. So some of you probably know it. It's a simple tool. It's something to start with. What it is, what I wanted to do is meditation today, but we're not going to go through it probably. But I might do it in the Facebook group. If anybody wants to participate, I can show you that. But it's literally just taking deep breath, focusing on your belly breath, and then literally imagining like you're scanning your body from the top of the head, yeah, down to the bottom of your feet, yeah. And what you're looking for is sensations. So I like to go for things like cold, hot, Yeah, so the easiest way to observe things at the beginning is if you make them opposites. Yeah, if you make them really um, like they're far apart, so you can actually distinguish the difference. So either hot, cold, dark, light, um, smooth, thick, like all of those textures that you would experience, I don't know, with food and with clothing, with like the materials that you are used to. Yeah. It could be, I don't know, bubbly, or it could be stuck. Like those are all the feelings that can come up. There's two wheels that I like to use. One is somatic sensation wheel, which gives you all the sensations in the body, and you can look at either they're like negative or positive. The other one I like is emotion and sensations. If anybody would like to explore that, just let me know and I'll pop the links in the group, so you can go deeper into that. But the first relationship with your body through the meditation, because meditation actually changes your brain. And then moving into the scan, yeah, so you can actually start feeling the sensations in the body and then asking questions to the body. What emotion is behind that? Or what feeling is behind that? Or sometimes you can also ask, what is this texture connected to? Is it connected to a certain memory? Is it connected to something I'm holding on? So you can actually go and explore in different ways. Yeah. But these are basic sensations for the basic emotions of joy, sadness, peace, anger, love, and fear. So these are normally the basis of kind of where we are coming from. Everything else are kind of complex emotions. But something to start with. Yeah, the rest you can actually go and explore deeper. So we know that, for example, when we feel joy in the body, we could feel the feeling of blissfulness. Yeah, we feel expansive. We're not feeling like it's heavy and contractive, right? We feel like we're like, sparkly. We're like jumping up and down, and like, we're feeling really joyful, right? So it's like, we're kind of on the bubble. Yeah. We don't have a care in the world. Yeah, we don't worry because things are light and bright. Yeah, we feel more active. Yeah, we feel like we want to do things and create things. And of course we feel exuberant and light. Yeah, so that's the feeling of joy, which is the expansive feeling, right? It's bringing more space into ourselves and into our energetic field. Sadness is the opposite of that, right? So we feel like heavy heart. We feel like the chest is constricted. Yeah, we feel weak. We're like tired and weak. We don't have energy to do anything, right? Sometimes we can feel tightness in the throat. We can't speak. Yeah, we can't even swallow things. We feel lethargic. We don't want to get out of bed, and we kind of, like snail-like movements. You feel like sometimes you can feel like we're empty in the chest, like we just have this big void. Or sometimes we feel this emptiness or tightness, like a knot in the stomach, either in the stomach or in the throat. We can have aches and pains. Yeah, our body is literally aching. We can feel like crying, like bursting into tears. And we feel like there's like somebody sitting on our chest. Yeah, like really tight. So I've gave you a bit more for the negative contractive emotions because it's easier sometimes when we are beginning to go into the body to feel sensations that don't feel good. Yeah, before we can actually move into something that's really happy, because majority of us went through stories of trauma, and the trauma doesn't feel good. So sometimes, well, a lot of times I get clients that tell me, I don't know what joy feels like. I have never experienced joy. I don't know what love is. Like, majority of people think conditioning or codependence is love. So we don't understand the proper meanings of that and the feelings within the body. So sometimes it's good to start with the contractive emotions and work our way around that. Then peace, of course, we feel relaxed and completely grounded. Tranquility, there's no thoughts in our head. We feel completely content. We don't need to change anything right now. Can be quiet, not speaking, but also quiet within our mind and in our body. Yeah. Then we are quite perceptive, right? So when we are at peace, the energy opens up and we can observe and be aware of multiple things at once. And we are really good at tuning in and connecting the dots, as well as alert. So we understand what's going on around us. But we are not allowing anything to come through the field because we are in our own center. And of course, we feel calm. So our thoughts are quite deliberate when we are at peace. Then, of course, anger. Probably everybody experienced that. As it's at the top of the body, we get hot or flushed, like all the blood goes up into the head and the chest. We can have tight muscles, normally the jaw, or sometimes we are clenching the jaw, tightening the jaw. Sometimes like we are literally building fists. And our expression of the face changes. Yeah, we become more aggressive, like active towards the environment. Sometimes you probably got the cold stare. If you're married, definitely. And then you can strike out. You can be explosive when the anger is too suppressed. Like as I said, fists, heart beating strong, like really you can feel it, like up in the throat. You can feel hot, especially in the neck, like you feel like it's really red and it's quite hot. You can feel the blood pressure going up, like you can feel it up into your head. All the body, so the whole body is tense. The majority you'll feel at the shoulders and your neck, and the jaw. But when you actually relax, you will feel that your entire body, all the muscles are actually tense. As I said, clench Josh, and then shaking, trembling. Sometimes that happens with fear. Sometimes that happens with anger. So with anger, that will happen. And normally if you start shaking and trembling, crying comes afterwards. And that happens because all the energy has been bursting through the cells and your body can't hold it anymore. Yeah. So your body is literally trying to release all the tension and the energy that was excess in the body. And it's trying to kind of balance itself. That's why you start shaking and trembling. And then sometimes the crying comes after because the body needs to balance and release. And then we have increased sweating that can happen sometimes with fear as well, especially anxiety, and headaches because all the pressure comes up into the head. And then we have, of course, love. True love feels like the unconditional love is between the peace and the love, warm feeling. Yeah, it's that calm feeling, supportive feeling, but it's like melting feeling in the body. Yeah, it's all warm up all through the body. You feel open. Yeah, you don't want to protect yourself. You feel completely full. Yeah, full, fulfilled within yourself. And you're soft, so it's like melting. Yeah. You're smiling all the time because your cell in your heart is content, and you feel more open to either embrace yourself or others, right? So you allow them into your energetic field more often. You also connected to yourself, so you see the reflection of the good side of yourself in others. Yeah, because you are connected, you see the good in others more often when we are in their frequency of love, and that will feel through the body this beautiful connection with other people that you are reflecting all this beautiful frequency to. And then fear, which is quite often, yeah, we are moving through fear all the time, and it's a part of this 3D world, which you probably feel every single day. But how does feel fear in the body? It actually feels cold. Sometimes you will get sweats, but if you can have sweaty hands because of fear, but if you feel them, they will feel cold. They won't feel hot like with anger. You will feel tense. Normally that can be through the jaw, tight neck. Sometimes your belly kind of shrinks and squeezes. Yeah, and not only stomach, but your entire belly, intestine. It just squeezes everything. You can shiver. Yeah, sometimes if you're really afraid, yeah, you can actually shiver. You can have the shivers down your spine as well. Again, trembling, but this time around, it will feel like you're losing energy. Yeah, so with anger, you're kind of shaking, but you have a lot of heat and a lot of energy. But if you're in fear, it feels like you just want to pass out. Yeah, that's kind of the feeling. And then, of course, stomach not something like it's not moving. Yeah. Of course, high heart rate, so the pulse is high. You'll be agitated. So anything that comes out of the environment, it will just annoy you like hell. Yeah. So when we are in fear, we don't want change. So we are really contracted. So we are completely closed. So any suggestions from the outside will literally annoy you because they actually create extra pressure in energy. You can actually have butterflies in the stomach. So this one is not complete fear. So butterflies in the stomach can sometimes be, they're on the edge between excitement and fear, because sometimes fear can be mistaken for excitement and excitement can be mistaken for fear, because in frequency they're quite close. So sometimes we are thinking that we are afraid, but we are kind of excited for the path ahead, but we are not certain because we don't see the path yet. So there's a bit fear present, but majority is the excitement that what we are actually going to do and what's going to happen in the future. Just be observe that in the body, be aware of it, what happens, and try to make it try to remind yourself that it's not always fear. Yeah, you don't have to be afraid of everything. Then we have shortness of breath. So with fear, we always have a shallow breath. So when we're breathing, we don't breathe in the belly, in the stomach, because it's too tight, it's squeezed. Yeah. So we always breathe at the top. So our breath is always shallow. It only comes to the top of the lungs. And that means that we are depriving our body of oxygen. And that also influences your thoughts, because your brain needs oxygen in order to actually think positive thoughts. I don't know if you know that, but there was a research done. They've studied meditation as well as mind-body connections. But if you ever notice with yourself, you can't actually wake up out of the dream laughing, like, pure joy. Because the higher states of being, meaning joy, peace, enlightenment, whatever you want to, they need presence of oxygen in your body. So if there's not enough oxygen, you will feel contractive emotions. Yeah, so you might feel neutral, but the more oxygen you have in your body, the more positive emotions you can feel in the body. So if you are not doing breath work in the morning, I will certainly like to encourage you to do that, because the more you get oxygen in the body, the more you get oxygen in your brain, the better you feel, the better mood you are in throughout the day, and the more motivated you will be. Yeah. So if you ever feel like low or fearful or something, or worried, or angry about certain things, the best way to actually shift that tension in the body is to actually breathe. And there's intentional breathing you can do. Like anger needs like fire breath. You need to get it out. You need to get out the intensity of the body, like yeah. So you need to actually really powerfully get it out. With fear, you actually need to slower your breath and really breathe into your belly. And when you calm down the nervous system enough to actually feel the release in your belly, so your muscles will stop contracting and they will kind of relax, then I would encourage you to actually do really intense breath work, like truly, like doing this, like getting as much air as possible in your lungs and into your body, because that will actually shift the frequency really fast in your body. So breath work is amazing. You can take it anywhere. I love doing connective, so Healy with breath work. Yeah, that, especially now with I've been experimenting. This is me, just intermezzo, but I've been doing the Cosmic Growth program, and I've been doing my breath work, and I actually started expanding so much that I needed a 2-day break. So because it was too much, so I really needed to slow it down, because there was so much coming through, and I was like, my physical body is not literally not coping anymore. But I'm loving it, so I'm adjusting it now. But breath work and Healy together, or meditation and Healy together, are my favorite tools. And you can get a lot of really big shifts while doing that. Okay, so what else we do? Dry mouth. So when we are afraid, we tend to drink all the time and we can't get enough. Tension around the eyes, you're like trying to squeeze things, really tensing your face. And you can get sick in the stomach. Yeah, when we are kind of because fear contracts and the energy is not moving. So the body wants to move certain things and it's not moving in digestion because we can't digest our feelings because we are in contraction. So this is where, Healy programs that support our positive thoughts, calm state of being, nervous system will actually help you support yourself and your body through feelings of fear. Yeah. This is basic. Yeah. If you want to go deeper, let me know. I'll post the documents in the Facebook group. You can go and research and dive deeper into your body. But let's look at Healy. So we've done a lot of programs in the past trainings, specifically what you can do. As I said, this time around, I want to actually give you a homework. So you can actually go and explore. I know, horrible, right? I'm giving you homework. But it's really important because if you are not trusting yourself, who are you trusting? So Healy is a beautiful tool for you to actually use in order to gain awareness and then check with your body. Always. Yeah. When I do my mentoring and coaching sessions, everybody, let's say they really don't like when I say, when they ask me questions and I say, what do you think? Because I don't give opinions to others if they're not in my body. So I'm teaching you to actually trust yourself because you are the only one that knows what's right for you. Yeah, I have the knowledge, I can give you that. But for you to gain wisdom in your body or remember wisdom in your body, you need to start practicing and exploring and implementing that through your body. But building a relationship with your body will help you play around and explore, and there is no right and wrong. Yeah. So this is my process simplified. Yeah, I do so many other things with it, but just to make it simple, even that is too much. But the way I use Healy as a bridge for a mind-body connection is first, I use it for identifying my thoughts and emotions. So we've done the coaching module, we've done the aura module, we've done the Schussler salts. Yeah, you can use Bach flowers or Australia bush flowers or whatever it is that you are using that are based on emotion or thought patterns. Yeah, so coach module is thought patterns, aura module is the energy, so the emotional patterns, affirmations. And then you have Schussler salts, which are actually beautiful to explore the mind-body connection based on the emotion and the what connection to the body. Yeah, so we've done that in a training as well. So I identify certain things and I just use my intuition. But if you don't know how to do that, it's okay. Just decide, do I want to look at my beliefs this month? So this month I'm working on my belief system. So I'm using only coach module. And next month I'm going to look at my energy patterns connected with my emotion patterns. Then I'm going to look at aura module. Yeah, so I'm going to scan that. And the month after, I'm actually going to look at specific emotions that are coming up for me, if something's coming up for you, and actually work with them to really dive deep into the body to understand where I feel them, how they feel, how they relate to the situation that I have. So I really dig deep. Yeah. But first, I use specific approaches to identify what's present in my field. Because when we are in the vortex, as I said, when we're hooked on the emotion, because we are in the trauma response, because that's the frequency imprint, what happens is we can't see past what we are seeing. Yeah? So if we can't see past it, we are always stuck in that mud pool. So Healy is a beautiful tool to actually expand that insight and expand that field of what is present and what is actually influencing your reality right now. That's why I use it, because I see things for my clients, but for me, sometimes I don't see anything because I'm blinded by my own frequencies of emotion and thought patterns that I'm transforming. Yeah. So the hardest work is on ourselves. But that's why I love Healy, because it helps me to see things that I can't see. The second step is to recognize sensations in the body. So even if you're using coaching module, yeah, for example, a pattern comes up and you can work with the top one. You don't have to go all through all of them. You can vibrate them, but you can work at the top one. Just choose the top one for a month and work with that and really dive deep and contemplate the affirmation. Contemplate, what does that mean for me? Like, I don't know, a pattern comes up. I don't know what we had. I don't know. The other day I've scanned it. It comes up a lot. Emotional extortion, right? So sometimes we feel contracted in our emotions. So we can actually go into meditation, connect with our body, and actually start asking questions without expecting the answer right away. Yeah. So we can actually vibrate whatever we've been scanning. And while we vibrate, we go into meditation and we ask questions, because that frequency will start moving the energy. And when we are in meditation, we are more aware of what's going on within our body, and we are more present. Yeah. We're not distracted by everything else around us. So I run the resonance, like literally vibrating while meditating. You can also choose specific programs to support you. So if you know certain emotions are coming up, so like for example, if it comes up with emotional extortion, you can probably feel that either it's, you're afraid that you'll be hurt, or there's anger present behind it because you've been hurt. So you need to identify what the emotion is. So if you know the emotion, for example, fear, yeah, or anger, or whatever comes up, you can say, okay, so fear is connected. I can work with meridians, for example, yeah, because we had that training. So you go and say, okay, fear is connected to the kidney. So I can run the kidney programs to help me shift the energy in there. And maybe a memory will come up. Maybe, I'll feel a certain feeling. I'll get an insight that I didn't, get before. So you can actually support yourself with programs that are supporting your organs that are connected to certain emotions. You can also say, I'm going to journal, and there's thought patterns that are coming up. Yeah. And then you look at the thought patterns and go, okay, so if I feel that, if I would be someone else, yeah, and if that person would feel that, what would I say to them? Yeah. You try to see it from a different perspective, going upwards, yeah, or from sides, like we had the 6 heads the other day. Yeah. So you can actually try different scenarios, so you can actually pinpoint the specific patterns connecting to those emotions, and then you can go, okay, where do I feel it in the body? So what's the sensation? So you can start connecting the dots and be a detective, and then do the reflection and support. So we've done this in between, but the way I do it is I reflect on the emotion or the pattern or affirmation that comes up in the Healy. Yeah. Literally go in meditation and asking questions, and what comes up comes up. I do not attach stories. I do not say, oh, my horrible person, because that comes up. No, I literally just go, okay, this is a reality. I want to explore what this means for me. Yeah. So it's about exploring and experimenting and playing around with different scenarios. And then out of that, ask, where in the body do you feel it? So you're looking for sensations. And out of that, when you come to a sensation in the body, what is the sensation? So you need to kind of make it a 3D texture. Yeah. So you kind of can work with it. Yeah. And then, have you felt this sensation before in any of your previous memories? So it's good to kind of pinpoint it back into your experience, because you'll probably see that the same sensation has been turning up in different memories and different experiences that you had. And what you're doing, you're actually pinpointing the same frequency throughout everything. So you don't have to deal with separate memories and separate situations. You're now digging deeper, and you're actually pulling out the thread. And when you look at the thread, you have the same sensations, you have the same emotions, you have the same patterns, the same frequency. And that means that you can actually transform this through the entire lineage. Yeah. So when you do that, what emotion do these memories have in common? So you can actually pinpoint that. And then you can support yourself with programs and things like that you can actually start moving, like meridians. Or, if it's nervous system, if it's fear, nervous system is a really good support. So balance nerves, pure calm in, deep cycle. So all of those are really good for nervous system support. Kidneys, for example, because it's fear connected. Yeah. So all of that can build up and bring that energy up, so you can actually transform it, from beginning to end, because we are working with quantum field. This is how I do it. I'm not saying that this is, the only way. And then what I do, I actually start running the programs, and I observe things that come up in my life. And then I just play with that again, with the reflection. You can keep a journal, you can play with it in your head, with your mind, whatever you want to, the way you work, find your own way. And then observe yourself in life, as I said. Just watch when you go into certain situations. Yeah, if you're feeling anxious, put Healy on to subside your nervous system, not to suppress it, but to calm it down, because then you're going to be more open so you can start observing and check in with your body. Just take a deep breath in between while you're connecting with people, while you're going out shopping, working, whatever, and just observe your body. You know, do I feel tight? Do I feel calm? Do I feel soft? How do I feel? Yeah, just checking in with your body. So you're always connecting with your body. Yeah, so around Healy, yeah. Yeah, correct. And then, of course, tools to support you: meditation, breath work, mindfulness. The only thing is, so if mindfulness is beautiful for the beginning when you're actually trying to calm your nervous system down to actually start observing. But I would, that's not the right word. Let me get the right word. I would encourage you to not stop at mindfulness, because mindfulness actually suppresses. Yeah, so it actually calms down the nervous system. You observe it, but you actually never face anything with mindfulness. Yeah, so you need to go into reflection and you need to actually dig deeper. Yeah, so mindfulness is to balance what's going on in the environment right now. It's helping you cope with things, but if you want to transform it, you actually need to go into meditation. You can, you can work with the body as well. So now we're working with the field and the mind, but you can turn it around. So you can actually work with the body. So you can actually go do yoga and fascia releases and, somatic exercises to actually stretch the body, to move the energy out in order to come up, and you can actually see it. You have also, what is it? Muscle relaxation, progressive muscle relaxation, which is literally tightening muscles and releasing them. So you can actually relax the muscles so the energy can flow through. And you can also get, start shaking, which we sometimes call theory, which is trauma release exercise. Or now I think it's reframed now, different name. But the tremors in the body actually are moving the energy out of the body. So you are actually releasing the trauma imprint in your physical body as well as the energetic field. So you can go deep as you want, or you can leave it at a surface level. Yeah. So I gave you basics. You can work with Healy. But the most important thing to remember, if you don't know what programs to run, we understand that nervous system, yeah, is the one that's carrying the messages. So if the nervous system is not balanced, that means the messages can't go through properly. So if you're starting to work with your emotions, the best thing to start with is your nervous system support. Yeah. And also, if you don't feel safe in the body, you will not go in. So one thing that I can recommend is actually start hugging yourself. And I'm not saying just because, it's going to look weird, but if you actually take your right hand, pop it underneath your left hand and place it on your shoulder, and do the left hand over your right shoulder, right at the back, and literally squeeze yourself, and then lower your chin down to your chest and hold yourself for 20 breaths, you will start yawning, because what you're doing is you're relaxing your nervous system. You're working with your vagus nerve. So when you don't feel safe in the body, you can actually do the meditation or run Healy programs and hug yourself in between, so you can start getting messages out, because you're going to feel safe. So your body will feel safe to actually release. Otherwise, it's going to be stuck in there. I know this is quite stretching, and it's not exactly what mind body connections normally are. I don't like to work only with the mind, because analyzing things it does not transform things. We need to work with the body in order to transform things. They need to go both ways. We need to have the knowledge, we need to understand things with reflection, but we also need to feel safe in the body, and we need to work with the body, because otherwise nothing changes. Yeah, because they're intertwined together and they work together. There's other things you can do, and probably there's things that you're already doing for yourself. But that's about it. Yeah, so I'm going to stop sharing. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Please, you can raise your hand and I'll unmute you. I'm just going to roll through if there's anything that I can answer. Decisions, yes. Action, I agree. I always forget that one. Yes, decisions, actions, our decisions are making our reality. So the choices we make are important and the actions that follow as well. And Kay. Hello, NK? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna just lower your hand and come up with the hand again when you are ready with connection. Sonia.
Yeah, hi Petra. This was a wonderful session for me. I'll have to go over it again. There's lots in there that you've said that needs time to assimilate and understand. So thanks a lot for that. My question
You're
is
welcome.
people who, thank you. Uh, the question is people who've undergone like trauma at a very young age, say at the age of 4 or 5, and they've just learned to cope with life using their brain and just desensitize themselves from emotions and the body. I know you've said everything today is about doing those things and getting there, but is there something, some simple place to start? I mean, you've said quite a lot, but uh, what's the easiest place to start even understanding what how do you actually go inside the body and start feeling?
So the first thing for people that are in their heads, I was one of them. Yeah. Was completely disconnected from my body. That's why I almost died at the age of 20. Yeah, because I needed a wake up call to actually go into my body because my body was suffering so much. So what I've experienced, this is my experience. Yeah, and by no means the only way. Um, for people that, for us, or people that have been in their heads for a long time. Yeah, that's a coping mechanism of a trauma response. So there's something that happened in their life that, this was a survival mechanism for them to actually not feel. Because what happens, and this is through research now, Gabor Mate actually talks about it a lot, is when we trauma is just a traumatic experience that was not processed. It's an emotion that was not processed, yeah, or it was not allowed to be processed. So when we're looking at the trauma response as children, if anybody has heard of Jasper Jewell, he was a psychologist that worked with kids and families years back through the wars, and Gabor Mate also talks about that is when children actually grow up to the age of 7, children actually live on theta waves, brain waves. Yeah, so that means they're like sponges. Yeah, so they're completely open and they're dependent on their parents. So they're absorbing everything from the environment, and the only protection that they have is their parents. So if their parents are the source of tension, yeah, and the source of struggle, yeah, or survival space, children will always compromise by letting go of their authenticity, and they will actually choose attachment. So when they choose attachment, what happens is they don't trust their body anymore. They don't trust their own instincts. They actually let go of all of that. They disconnect. So what actually happens in the brain, and they've done research on that, in the brain, we actually create a separate personality because of that trauma. So we all have that. People that went through a traumatic experiences, probably not only one, we create separateness. We literally, what happens in the brain, it actually separates. So that's why we find mechanisms to cope with the situation, because the pain we feel in the body, it's too intense. So the only way to do it, is to slowly build the trust with your body. And yes, it's not going to be, tomorrow, it's not going to be overnight, but the only way that I can tell you how to do that is working on your nervous system. So first, you have Healy programs that can support you for your nervous system beautifully. Yeah. Second, you need to be actually brave enough to see things that are painful currently for you. And just to remind you, our pain, so the emotion that's painful, if it's new emotion, it lasts only 6 seconds in the body. If it's an old emotion, meaning that it's already present in the body and suppressed, it actually lasts only 20 seconds. So it's like taking off the bandage. Yeah. So if we actually gain the courage to see things that are painful, it will only hurt, really hurt for 20 seconds. And then you'll have the residual effect of energy moving through the body. And you can cope with that. So, and if you can't cope with that, I would definitely encourage you to find someone that can actually hold the space for you. But if you are brave enough and gain the courage to actually look at things that are not working for you through coaching module, through aura, yeah, which are spot on, yeah. So you can start just with one top. You don't have to go through all of them. Just start with the one at the top that comes out and work with that and contemplate and go into meditation. But you also need to build safety in the body. So hugging yourself and literally calming your nervous system. You can also, reaffirm affirmations like I feel completely safe in my body. I feel completely safe in my body right now. Thank you for supporting me. Yeah, so you're literally affirming to your body, because when you are in this position down, you are actually like in your what we call a fatal position, yeah, for the nervous system. And you are actually rewiring your brain, you're rewiring your nervous system. And if you're applying frequency at the same time, you're actually speeding up the process. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. So if you do this the way I do, please don't, because I do the highway. I've done that last year in Bali. I started doing that, putting all the programs, talking to my body because I was on vacation, and I said, I'm letting go of all my trauma that's present in the body. Next day I couldn't walk. So just letting you know that, your intentions, your frequency in the body, when you decide that you want to go in, is really powerful. And then I couldn't walk. And then I literally had to figure out how to build the tools in order to actually start walking in 3 days, because I had a flight back home. So I actually did massages, I did Healy, I did somatic work and stretching. So I could actually help the body release what was holding. But I couldn't walk because I went into contraction, because it was too much things coming up at once. Because my brain was like, oh, it's going to be painful. But as soon as I started letting go and supporting my nervous system, my body let go. And I was fine. 4 days, I was fine. So I'm just letting you know that start slowly, build your safety in the body, and hug yourself, love yourself, like you would do with a child. Yeah? Because your head will try to prevent you, because your ego mind wants to protect you, because it's been protecting you for a long time. So nervous system programs, aura, or coaching, and of course hugging if you can, at the beginning, and start talking to yourself.
So which nervous system programs?
So I love balanced nerves in bioenergetic harmony. I love a pure calm in the deep cycle H. Sometimes if I feel like my nervous system is really agitated, emotional well-being or positive thoughts, or joy of life in the digital nutrition. Those are my favorite.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let me go through and then we'll see. If somebody has a hand up, let me know, but I'm just going to see if there's any questions in here. Yes, the health of the pineal gland does affect the body's response to stress, because pineal gland and hypothalamus are connected. So we're going to look at that when we look at hormonal imbalances in depth. Yeah, so we have the HPA axis in the body. So hypothalamus is like your CEO, yeah, for all the hormones in your body and all responses. Yeah, pineal gland actually is the manager. Yeah, so she tells the glands in the body what hormones to release and when to release them. Yeah. So normally pineal gland, if you scan yourself in Healy, the pineal gland will come up when there is too much toxins in the body and where there is imbalances with hormones in the body, especially, oh, hello, balloons. Especially with women. Yeah, especially if you are low on progesterone, pineal gland will come up. So you'll see it in the scans, but it's the one that governs your adrenal gland response, which is your fight and flight response, the stress response, and also your sex hormones. And that also influences your satiety hormones, which is connected to the weight gain or weight loss. Yeah. So those hormones are connected together, and pineal gland is one part of that as well. Yeah. Hypothalamus is more important for the nervous system of safety. Yeah. Pineal gland is more important for connections of stress and hormone balance in the body. Yeah. Yes, I love smiling to my organs as well, and I love talking to them and loving them and hugging them. And the more you put love around them, the more your body will respond. Oh, that's different. So in your sleep, it's different. Yeah. When you wake up. So we need to understand. So crying and laughing in your sleep is different than actually waking up and laughing. Yeah, because what happens is during sleep, this is a bit out of context here, but what happens during the sleep is your soul, yeah, gets out of the body. Yeah, so you are experiencing things on an energetical level. Yeah, but they're coming through the physical body. But when you wake up, your soul drops into the body. Yeah, and now it's on a physical plane. So now the structure of how do you say that, the approach of how your body works is a bit different. So if you don't have enough oxygen, you can't just wake up, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, like laughing to tears. But in the dream itself, like you can laugh to tears. Yeah, because you're experiencing things on a different level. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hand. Ashka? Yeah, go for it.
Thank you, Petra, for such an amazing sessions every time. So my question is that it is very common, especially for introverts, when they have that nervous anxiety while speaking, especially while we are speaking, when we are calling to someone, or when we are going into, represent ourselves. So there is a sense of nervousness which comes in, immediately before we are going to start something.
Yes.
So and it repeats every time, when like it's very common, like everybody feels that moment of nervousness, especially before we start. So how we can overcome that, or how we can reduce the what I can say, the intensity of that, so that we can work or express ourselves in a better way, because
Okay.
that affects our sometimes our performance also.
Okay. There's a few things in there. Yeah. So do you want like a superficial answer of how you can just apply programs, or do you want me to go deeper?
Yeah, I mean deeper level also, that is there any emotion connected with that, or it is very common, like how you can address with that, for example, how you will.
Okay, so I'll be really honest. Yeah, so what I'm hearing, yeah, is okay. So there's two ways, right? So introverts, um, people tend to call themselves introverts where they actually have a trauma response. Yeah, there's people that they are introverts and they're completely fine not talking and they're completely at peace and they don't experience anxiety. Yeah, but there's introverts, yeah, that have a trauma response and they actually have anxiety approaching certain things because they feel anticipating things that are not good. Yeah, so there's a perceived stress that happens in the body. So my question to you would be to actually go and challenge yourself to, because the words that I'm hearing from you is it's quite common, right? So is it common for you or is it common for everyone? Because if it's
So
common
many
for everyone, yeah. So my this is a bit of coaching here, yeah. But my recommendation would be for you to challenge yourself to reframe the words that you use. Because if you're putting yourself in a box, you already are anticipating certain outcomes. Yeah, so that's first. Second, because then you're treating symptoms and not cause. Yeah, but if you actually go deeper and really dig deep into your body and say, okay, am I just scared of the outcome, or am I really an introvert? Am I just shy speaking up, or am I actually withdrawn and I don't like people? And I'm just okay being with one or two people because I feel safe with them? Or can I be safe with others as well? And how can I achieve that? So I would challenge you to start thinking out of the box and reframing. So instead of going, this is my challenge, I want to, find a fix for it. Yeah. Can I create a different situation? Can I challenge myself to get out of the box? Yeah, and dig deeper for the emotion that's behind it. So am I afraid? What am I afraid of? Yeah, so if I'm anxious, what I'm anxious of, what I'm afraid of. Yeah, what's the worst thing that can happen? And then really dig deeper. Yeah, because when you look at introverts and people, I like I like the empath version. I don't. Just letting you know, because there's a lot of people calling themselves empaths, yeah, where they don't have energetic boundaries. And it's really interesting that it's coming up quite often this past 2 weeks. So if you don't have energetic boundaries, you're allowing people to go into your space and they literally bulldoze you. And then, of course, you have an experience like nobody's listening to you. You don't have the outcome that you want. You're afraid that, you're going to feel the pain. So all of that are the outcomes of the situation that you're afraid of. And then if you're already anticipating the outcome, then you're not going to do it. So you need to reverse the situation and go, okay, what's the outcome that I want? How can I support myself to achieve that outcome? Yeah. So it's getting to know yourself. Are you really an introvert? Are you putting a label on yourself? Or are you actually an extrovert wanting attention and connection, but you don't get that because you haven't actually got the connection with yourself yet? Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense, because actually I'm shy, but yeah, I like people, I have connections, people like me, all those things are there, but still the thing is I'm not being able to find out where that factor comes when I start. Sometimes it's not, now it is improving because I am challenging, as you said, I'm challenging myself to certain stereotypes which we put ourselves into the box, and we try to come out of that box, so that improve. So there are, so what are the programs in Healy which can help?
So I would use coaching. To actually, with clear intention. Yeah, so make your intention really clear what you want. So meaning, go look at the intention trainings that we've done, but it needs to be in positive statement. So like it already happened. So imagine yourself the person you want to be, create intention out of that. If you need help with that, go to the coaching module in January, which we've done coaching. There was another one that was envisioning. So we have a session for envisioning. So there's a meditation that I've done. So I've guided you through the envisioning process. So you can actually envision yourself in the future and then create an intention out of that, of who you are in the future, who you want to be. Yeah, but it needs to be like it already happened. And then work on that. You'll see the patterns that are coming up. Yeah, and work with that for a month. Yeah, scan yourself once a week, vibrate every day. And then what I would look at is maybe Schussler salts or Bach flowers, so you can see the specific emotions that come up for you. Yeah, so you can then go and check in with your body and just observe when you actually go out to people and before you do certain things. Check in with yourself. Okay, what am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? Yeah, so is it my belly tightening? Is it my breath? Is it my heart? Is it, where do I feel certain things? And then you can journal, you can, write things down. And eventually, if you actually journal every day and literally go into every sensation and write it down, you will see patterns. Your patterns will emerge. Yeah, and then you can start pinpointing the emotions out. And then you can start supporting yourself based on those emotions with physical, like pink app programs. But in between, I would do coaching and then support either Schüsselsalz or Bach flowers. And then I would support your nervous system. Yeah, so because otherwise you're going to feel all the stuff coming in and that feels like pressure. Yeah, so either inner unity in beauty is really beautiful. Balanced nerves, strength in fitness. What was the other one? If you have soul cycle, acceptance, self-confidence, those are beautiful. You can also do, what's the other one? Energy in soul cycle. Energy reserve.
Energy reserve.
Yeah, so this will actually help you keep the energy so you can actually work with your emotions that come up. Yeah, so you can actually build up the energy in the body. You can also use kidneys. So kidney female or kidney female, kidney male. Kidney female, kidney male. Because
In my
male
every time comes actually kidney harmony male, especially
male. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Because kidney harmony male for you is the masculine energy. Yeah, so that means action. Yeah, so obviously you don't have enough energy reserve in the body. So if it's coming up, means that you need to strengthen that energy, the life energy within the body. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to take one last one. Is there anything else that you wanted?
No,
Ashka,
thank you
you
so
okay?
Quite
Perfect.
clarity I've got.
No.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, so I'm going to take the last one, and whatever questions you have extra, please pop them into our Q&A post in the Facebook group. Next week, we're going to have a live Q&A session on Wednesday night. So you can join and we can answer all the other questions as well. Okay, Sonia, you're the last one.
Hi, good evening. So my question
Hello.
is for all the single people, because I'm a therapist and a healer, and I come across a lot of single people who have a lot of issues because their prana can be very, you understand the sexual energy can be very high, and they don't have a partner, and they are dealing with a lot of issues, imbalance, issues where they're they're not, because they don't have a partner, so they have issues, right? Now, what do you suggest in such cases? What need to be worked on, and how much it can affect your body, mind, and what is the right remedy in such cases?
Okay, that's a really wide question. Yeah. So for
Sorry,
me, the question, no, it's okay. Questions that come up for me are, why are single people having more issues than people that are partnered? Yeah. The second question is, if you are single, what is the issue? Because we all have issues, right? So when we are in partnership,
Single
especially
people
if
I
we
see
are,
have more issues, and they don't know where to go, what to do.
so what are the issues?
Issues are like imbalance. I mean, I'm talking about the body and mind, once they are having issues with their body, issues like, could be
You mean like
physical
health
pain, it could
challenges?
be, more challenges being single because they are not balanced. So, what do you suggest in such cases? What need to be done to balance themselves?
So for me, this is my view. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So for me, balance comes from within, not from having a partner. Yeah. So when we actually balance the feminine and masculine energy within us, then
Right,
we
yeah.
can attract the right frequency of a partner. Because when we attract the frequency of a partner, only then the work begins. So we are now, if you are single and then you're building a foundation for an individual person in order to enter a partnership of work. So when we are in partnership, the reflections come in. So the intensity of work intensifies. Yeah. So when we are single, what we're doing is working on our foundation within ourselves, meaning the balance of masculine and feminine. So if that
Yes,
is out
that's
of
right.
balance, then
Right. Yeah.
I would definitely say that there are physical issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I would observe from the body side, to literally look at where the issues are coming from, I would look at, is it on the left side or the right side of the body? Is it the front side or the back side of the body? Yeah, because we are looking at the feminine energy on the left side and the masculine energy on the right
Yeah,
side.
yeah, that's right.
We're
Yeah.
also looking at the things that are really suppressed, like the trauma stuff in the back of the body. And we are looking at things that we are presenting as a facade in front of the body. Yeah, so are we actually being truthful to ourselves? Are we being authentic to ourselves? Are we actually presenting our true self to the world? Because if we're not, then we can't attract the right partner, because we are actually in conflict with ourselves. So we need to think about partnership, or we are always in a partnership, be it with ourselves or with someone else. It doesn't really matter. Like, we need to build the relationship with ourselves first before we enter a partnership. I can tell you, I have a partner over 22 years, and this partnership has been hell and back. Yeah, so I've done so much work in partnership, and sometimes I thought I should be fine alone. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love him to bits, but the thing is, the work intensifies through partnership. And partnership can be relationship with your parents, it can be relationship with your friends, it can be relationship with people
Right.
at work. Those are all partnerships, but they're all reflections of us.
But
So
what
the
about the
world
hormone
around
part?
you,
When you're not engaged physically, you have hormonal imbalance, right? Considering women, right?
not necessarily. Like, you mean if you don't have intimate
If
relationships, that's
somebody's
what
in
you're asking?
celibacy for long, say, you have a lot of
Yeah,
hormonal imbalances, right? Which can
not
create a lot of health
necessarily.
issues.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm saying, right?
I
So
was
why
reading
are
somewhere. Okay.
yeah, so my question is always, right? So when something presents to me, I always ask why. Why is that there? Why is my body, or their body, why is their body presenting with that? So where's the imbalance of energy at the back? Because not having sex, I'm sorry to be direct, but not having sex doesn't mean it's going to bring hormonal imbalances. Like, there's pleasure in so many levels. Yeah. So we need to understand that if there's an issue with hormone imbalances, I would look at the stress, and I would look at the joy. I would look at, the creativity and where the energy is going. I would look at the balance of feminine and masculine. There's so many things that you could look at with that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But, if it's hormonal imbalances, we're going to have a training for that. So we're going
So
to go
what's the
deeper
best
into
remedy
that.
you suggest in such cases?
Well,
Best
working
remedy?
on yourself, mind-body
As in
connection, meaning to
meditation?
understand meditation, using coaching program, using aura scans to actually look at, what's going
Right.
on in the
Okay.
field, right? To look at, is it ancestral? Is it your emotional patterns? Where are you, pulling back and sabotaging yourself? Where are you over responding and completely open, right? You're leaking energy. So it is looking at the energetic imbalance, energetic imbalances, and you can do that through coaching program. You can do that through aura. You can look at the emotions that are present through Schistol salts, Bach flowers, whatever you want to, and then you can actually balance the nervous system, or you look at the organs that are influencing the body. So there's so many things. I don't know, like, this is quite a wide question. We would need to look at a specific
Thank you so
person,
much, Petra.
right?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's helped us. Yeah.
No worries. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. That's it for tonight. Sorry, Nifis, you can actually ask the question in the group. We'll have the question next week in the Facebook group. So if you want to join there, you're more than welcome, because of course we can't do this all here. But thank you for coming. If there's any other questions that arise later on, always you're welcome to pop them into the comments under the post. But next week we are moving into April. I can't believe it's already April. But we are moving into some beautiful business trainings. So we're gonna focus 2 trainings on business, 2, not 3, 2. 2 business trainings. So first half of the April is business training. So to get you supported, because we've been having a lot of questions about business lately. So we decided to actually give you some business training on that as well. So that will be next week. We are going to talk about sharing Healy authentically and to make it yours. And we are bringing some exciting information out as well. So hopefully I'll be seeing you next week on Thursday. If you want to do some questions and answer chat with me, and my friend Katie will be there as well. You're more than welcome to join our Wednesday. But otherwise, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be seeing you next week on Thursday. Have a great night and day. See ya.